Brian JOUBERT seems to be left alone as a contender for this European title. He has won every competition he's been entering this year, and the French team as a whole team seems to be the strongest team on this competition, as Alban PREAUBERT and Brian JOUBERT were the only two Europeans to participate into the Grand Prix final. Nevertheless, it is a post-Olympic year, and it is usually the time for newcomers to stand out. We have a very young Russian team, 3 young skaters with their leader Andrei, who with his good short program can do something tonight. We have also to watch out for 2 very good skaters, great skaters, but somehow unpredictable. The first one is the Belgium guy, Kevin van der Perren, who has shown really great jumps on practice during this week. We have to also watch out for Tomáš VERNER from Czech Republic, who has been very consistent. There is not a very one contender to stand out in front of Brian JOUBERT. It's gonna be a very intense competition. The short program is difficult. The skaters don't have the chance to miss one difficulty. So most of them will play it safe. Usually they will not try the quadruple jump. We will see who will have the guts to try it tonight. Anyway, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show on Eurosport.
So to get us underway in this 4th group, a young man competing for the 2nd time at Europeans. He was 16th last year. This is 21-year-old Anton Kovalevsky for the Ukraine. A bit of Astor Piazzolla here for his short program.
Going for the triple axel. Yes, just.
Well, he hung on by the skin of his teeth there, didn't he? Just let the upper half of the body go on the last half of the jump, but he hung on in there.
The flip and toe loop. There's the flip and the toe loop. Very clean. Didn't have a great deal of height, but made it count for the looks.
Wow. Well, he really is a powerhouse, this guy. Good presentation, plenty of content in that short program. Anton Kovalevsky. Lovely, fluid style through the footwork. Really enjoyed it.
I think he's been watching some of Yevgeny Plushenko's programs. I almost saw some of the same steps coming out. There's a deja vu experience really there. I suppose if it works and you can do it, there's the axel.
Well, he had to work hard. He made the rotation, which is key. Managed to keep that left foot off. But when it works well, beautiful position. Just textbook stuff. The check and wind up for that triple toe at the end of the combination there. And then the last of the jumps. Triple Lutz, no problem at all. Good elevation, great tuck position in the flying sit. Could get lower in the sit position, but this is difficult to get the arms back there and keep the momentum going. Worked hard, no change of edge in that.
You know, there is just one thing. There's so much music in the world, and you know, coaches pick music that's been used by other skaters before. I've heard this. I think I've heard it twice in championships before, and it's like,
I think many times.
Yeah,
it's a very popular piece.
It's like something else. Get something else.
Again, the wonderful super slow-mos here.
There was a point on the circular step sequence where I'm so used to the circle being completed and nailed that here that's not happening. It's like it peters out 3/4 of the way around and goes into a spin. So interesting to see the level he gets for that.
Galina Kuka sat on his right. All smiles there. Will there be smiles after the marks? 65.67 his personal best. He achieved that in the World Championships last year. So 34.88. They're going to be good marks. 63.67 will be his total, and that will get him into second place. So second spot now for Anton Kovalevsky of the Ukraine. In behind Karol Zelenka of Italy, who skated an absolute blinder, and our early leader, Philippe Tischendorf for Germany, down into third. John Hamer for Great Britain now in fourth spot, but he's done himself proud. He's going to qualify with ease, and that's the key. So on the ice now, the 20-year-old from Switzerland. 21st last year, but 2 years ago, almost into the top 10, and his first time at the European Championships. This is Jamal OTHMAN for Switzerland. Beautiful style and a great technician when he's on form. Dance Macabre, the music.
A lot of speed. Lutz and toe loop, the combination. Oh, beautiful first part. Determined to hold the second.
Just didn't really get any knee bend on the landing of that toe loop.
It's tall. Big presence on the ice. The flip. Excellent positioning of the spin with the music. Changing position, getting hold of the foot, the level increasing. One more spin to go.
Oh, beautiful. Love the interpretation, the quality there for all to see. Good spins, great jumps, and a really well-constructed program.
It shows that you can take the elements and you can craft them into the music or edit the music to fit the elements, whichever way you wish to do it. But that worked. The space for the circular step sequence was there with the music. And the way he was performing throughout it, the first spin just popped right on time with the music as well. So the second set of marks we see should be high. Because, you know, as far as performance goes and what would have been the old artistic impression in days gone by, that's the second set we see. You see it on the right-hand side of your screen. You see a breakdown of it. Have a look when it comes up.
Well, he's going to get a little bit of a problem on the flip because he changed edge on that, took off the outside edge instead of the inside edge. So really a Lutz, and he can't repeat the Lutz because he did that in combination. So
well spotted.
That'll be a bit of a struggle for him, but it's a real shame as well that he didn't get down in the knee on the landing of the triple toe, because he would have been able to maintain the control of that back outside edge if he just relaxed a little more in that right knee. But the whole performance, the package is there.
And he does have this presence, doesn't he? Fills a lot of space on the ice because he's tall and he's open in his presentation, and it makes a big impact when he covers the ice quickly.
Yes, I hope that comes across on your television sets. It's watching it live here, you do get a different impression, and when somebody comes out and takes a command of the ice surface like that, it really is impressive, isn't it, Nicky?
It is. He's covering a lot of air, a lot of ground.
Well, we've got two Swiss skaters in this group. You may be asking yourself, where is Stefan Lambiel?
People are.
He's not here, that's for sure.
He's not here.
And he's not here because he's not really on form. Felt that he's not skating as well as you would like to, and I can tell you Brian JOUBERT is at the top of his form. So hopefully we'll see him in the World Championships, because the battle between Brian and Stefan will be very interesting indeed. And then, of course, there's a few other people to be put into the frame. But these marks here for Jamal are good.
So choreography out of 10, they're still not letting it go, in my opinion, at all.
6.04 for the presentation, or the interpretation, should I say. Choreography could have gone up a little bit more, but 62.82. He'll take that, a personal best from him, and that's third place for Jamal OTHMAN for Switzerland. Very, very well done indeed. So third place in behind Kovalevsky of the Ukraine, still Zelenka for Italy leading. So there's a familiar face on the opposite side of the boards, Mr. Mission. When he's involved, you know it's going to be good. This is a young man that we haven't seen before. First time in the European Championships, runner-up at the Russian Nationals. 20 years of age, Andrei Lutai. The music entitled To Be. And in the next 2 minutes and 50 seconds, we'll find out exactly what it will be.
Triple axel. Making it count. Not a lot of speed into the entry. Lutz, toe loop. Oh, beautiful.
Makes it look so easy.
Triple loop out of nowhere.
Really good entry into the flying camel there. Traveling butterfly onto the inside edge as well. This is good stuff. First skater this afternoon to do the circular step sequence clockwise around the rink. That's not his normal direction.
And powerful defined arm movements, fast into the spin. Oh, great change of edge.
Wow. Just breathtaking. He's done it again. He's got another shining star for us.
He has, hasn't he? Gosh, the definition of every movement he does is so strong, powerful, assured.
That's it. I think you hit the nail on the head there, Nicky. It's assured, it's a confidence. He had no doubt. I'm sure Alexei Mishin had no doubt. Out he goes. Music goes on, flick a switch, and away you go.
And when you've been training alongside Plushenko day after day, you see what he does, you've seen the way he performs, you grow up with that, you grow up in that environment, you know what's expected, so it's just, this is natural.
Fantastic, beautiful technique. We've got a chance to join Jamal OTHMAN ringside with Gwendal.
De Stéphane, tu portes tous les espoirs de la Suisse sur tes épaules. Est-ce que ça t'a motivé particulièrement aujourd'hui?
J'ai vraiment essayé de ne pas trop penser à ça parce que pour moi ça ne devrait pas changer trop grand chose. Mon but c'était de patiner un programme propre. Là,
Gwendal's asking about the pressure and Thomas saying he didn't think too much about the pressure. Of course, Lombiel not now, and he's really happy with his performance today.
J'ai vraiment essayé de ne pas penser à ça.
Merci beaucoup, bonne chance.
So I'm not sure with Andrei whether he has, you know, grown up alongside Plushenko. I might just be assuming that because
Mr.
Mission's involved. But that is the impression you get, that he goes out there, he knows what has to be done, he's 20 years old, and delivers the goods.
And he really did. There was no hesitation, wasn't there? Just thinking back to that triple loop, just wound it up. The solo triple jump, remember, has to be integrated with steps. There can be no hesitation going in, and it was by the book.
It was, and right to the end too. He's still concentrating. So often in days gone by, we've seen skaters lose it at the end. They get a bit tired. You know, you think you've nearly finished, just miss a little bit. You can't afford to do that now in the short program, and he wasn't doing. He was focusing right to the very last second.
The score piece for Andrei LUTAI from Russia.
Andrei's been with Mr. Mishin since 2001. His sister asked Alexei to take him into his group then, and Lutai's brother and sister skating as well. And in fact, Andrei coached by his sister before making the move to Mishin. And I would think he's never looked back, and there's a wry smile on the face of Mr. Mishin. He knows his protege's done well. It's good stuff. 66.97, over 10 points better than he's ever got before, and this is the stage to do it on. When Alexei Mishin shakes your hand, you know you've done well. a personal best and first place at this stage for Andrei Lutai from Russia. He looks composed.
He doesn't look over the moon.
Representing Slovenia.
Well, the afternoon was a little slow to get going, but we've had some electrifying performances so far, and this guy's capable of a thing or two as well. Now 24 years of age, he was 17th last year, skating to Paganini's Rhapsody on a Theme. Gregor URBAS from Slovenia.
Lots of speed, ice coverage is good. The Lutz, toe loop, but perfect. Triple axel. Just looked a little tentative before the takeoff, but made it count.
He's having to work hard on these landings, but he's making everything count. All credit to him. Well, a good job by Gregor there. I don't think he actually felt on his game when he was out there. He had to work hard, and boy, oh boy, did he dig deep on some of those landings. That's what it's all about.
The axle and the loop, both of them. The tentativeness before the takeoff for the axle. It was like, I didn't know if he believed he could do it, really. But he made it count, and the loop winding up.
That was really, really good. Something I try to instill into my skaters at a young age is that the good skaters land the bad jumps. When the timing's good and you're over your skate, it's not too difficult to land the jumps. Here's a look at the Lutz. And toe loop, no problem there. But when you're not quite over the skate and you have to work hard to hold it, you can see the left shoulder going back, the free leg a little wide there. You've got to work hard. That's what it's all about. Go up sideways, still find that right foot. And there, the weight's a bit far forwards, didn't really get over the right foot.
And we saw it in the pairs as well last night with the girls when they land the throw jumps.
Yeah.
The ones that they fight to hold those landings. And then they moan at their partner afterwards for throwing them too far, no doubt, you know.
Really working hard through the spins as well, trying to get those levels up all the way through the program, onto the forward outside edge as he winds up the end of the spin. Good presentation. Well, 3 years ago, he finished 14th in these championships. He's competing here at the Europeans. This for his 7th time. He'd love to get inside the top 10, but you feel that as we move on, the standard is going to be so high. The French team very, very strong here. We've still got 3 French guys to go. Alban PREAUBERT, who's always fantastic to watch, going in the next group. And of course, Brian JOUBERT in that final group, who is in the form of his life. So technical elements, 33.94, good. 27.76 for the components, gives him a total of 61.70, and that will be good enough to put him into 5th place at the moment, in behind the Swissman, the Swiss skater Jamal OTHMAN, ahead of Tischendorf, our early leader, pushing him down to 6th, and John Hamer now in 7th place, but it's still a good effort from John.
Well, the Skaters Hotel in Warsaw, and Brian JOUBERT in a good mood. The day after they arrived in Warsaw, the French skater and his coach are about to discover the competition ice rink. It's not a big arena, really. It's quite nice because the public is close to the ice. Not a big rink either, 58 by 28 meters. That's just 2 meters more than in Poitiers, so it won't affect my routine too much. You know, before the competition you have to do the mental thing. For example, even if you're not ready, you have to show that you're strong. For myself, I am ready, and I want to show it to the others to impress my rivals and show the judges who follow our practice sessions that I'm here. In these big championships, practice is so important. You have to tell the others, I am here.
Faut s'imposer dès le départ. Faut arriver, s'imposer, dire je suis là.
So huge confidence from the French skater, which comes from his season so far, a fine season. But in his team, there's somebody who doesn't feel quite so comfortable about such positive feelings. Well, I tell you, too much confidence does worry me. I like to see Brian a little bit more stressed, have a little bit more doubt in his mind. In my opinion, he has too much serenity. He's got to take care. The words of Raymond Joubert, Brian's mother. And who knows a son better than his mother? As we'll see, it seems that nobody can have a mother's flair. Well, you've got to be a little bit more patient. You have to finish your approach work because you're not ready to jump.
Jean-Christophe, c'est pas quelqu'un qui s'énerve vite.
Jean-Christophe, he's very calm and relaxed. He calms me down. I'm a bit more impulsive, but right now I don't want to get hungry. If I miss a jump, no problem. It's really just a lack of concentration at the moment.
Si je rate un saut, tant pis. Si je rate un élément, c'est pas grave parce que je sais que ce sont des erreurs d'inattention.
You just have the time to do one more. Be well focused for this last one, won't you?
va pas s'inquiéter parce qu'il y a un saut qui passe pas.
We're not going to get nervous over one jump because 90% have been fine for a week, even the really hard jumps, like the quads. If throughout the whole day we had a problem with some of the elements, then we probably would be more worried. But right now, there really is no reason to be anxious. The words of Jean-Christophe Simon, the coach of Brian JOUBERT. And back at the hotel to be 100% sure that everything is going okay, there's nothing better than ending the day in the hands of the medic. Bruno Le Nature saying, don't worry, there's nothing really. Well, I can't say that Brian is becoming stressed, but he is starting to worry just a little bit. It's the same for everybody, just like before an exam at school. We all have the feeling of having forgotten everything, but you can see that the tension is coming.
C'est un peu pareil pour le sportif de haut niveau, mais il y a effectivement une tension assez perceptible au fil du temps.
So there we are, Bruno Le Nature is giving him the once-over. At least his mother will be pleased. A little bit of tension, a little bit less serenity, just what she was calling for. Brian JOUBERT on day 2.
Now, this will be exciting. He's a real character, this guy. And you're always assured of some wonderful choreography. Yannick Dumont, never short of something to say. And Nikolai Morozov, the choreographer, but when you watch him skate, you have to think there's a substantial amount of input from the skater himself. 6th last year, first time in the European Championships. What can he do in 2007? 21 years of age now. France's very own Alban PREAUBERT. Didn't compete in nationals this year, he was injured. Let's hope that he's fit as a fiddle today. The music, Night on a Bare Mountain. And a bit of the Buzzy Bee.
Triple axel. Very fast entry. Oh.
Well, that was a monster.
Throwing down the gauntlet, just making it look easy. Flip. Oh. Double toe loop leaning back. The entry for the second part of the combination.
Well, he took the flip round the corner too far. Paid the price. This is his forte. Oh dear, come on Alban, concentrate. Oh, Alban. He'd like that 2 minutes and 50 seconds back again, I think. Not quite what he was looking for. He went out with all guns blazing and nailed a beautiful triple axel, then off axis on that combination and stepped out of the Lutz.
And it lost the impact, didn't it?
It did. What a shame. It's such a fun program.
It's not that he can't do it.
No. Oh dear, well the crowd really got behind that. It's lifted the afternoon.
That's why it's competition, isn't it? You just have to do it when the chips are down. And there's the opening axel.
Well, it was a cracker, wasn't it? Look at that, no hesitation going in. He was flying round the rink. There's a flip. Now he just gone round a little bit too far. See, that left shoulder couldn't get the tension to make 3 turns on the toe loop. So difficult. Once the left side goes back, it really is an uphill struggle. Now, it's amazing to me, the French skaters on the whole seem to have a style all of their own, and they always seem to come up with a program that suits the style of the skater.
Yes, and it's different. It is. I think there's a lot of culture. You know, when you are competing against people in your home country, and there you are, and that's what you grow up with. This is the norm. And I always think the cultural element is great for France, because we, again and again, in every discipline of the sport, we see them come up with something new and something different.
And Alban hasn't disappointed us. Same short program as last year, but the result was different last year.
And there is also the thing about how the coaches have been brought up too, aren't there? Because we saw a Russian skater earlier who had a piece of music that we've heard many times before, and like, that's okay in Russia, but it wouldn't be okay in France. If you turned up with the same piece of music somebody else had used, they'd go, "Excuse me, what's going on?" Different expectations, but it adds to the richness of what the French produce, that's for sure.
So here we go. Look at his personal best, 73. I mean, that would get him right at the top of the pile if he could get that. Got that in Skate America last year.
They've gone really high on some of the choreography things that I think they're holding on the second mark there. There's something a little out of kilter compared to some of the skaters we've seen before on that second mark.
Well, they've held him up there. Second place it is for Alban PREAUBERT for France. And in our book, a little lucky. Still 2 skaters to go in this penultimate group. And on the ice now, the young man from Sweden, 24 years of age. 14th last year. A couple of years ago, got himself into 10th place. If he can hold it together, he's a force to be reckoned with. This is Kristoffer BERNTSSON. Andrei Dohany watches on. Well, Kristoffer's the first Swedish skater to land triple axel in competition. Let's see if he can do it again here.
Triple Lutz, triple toe loop, 1 inch from the barrier, amazing. Axel.
Such a shame. Really good effort. That was the triple axel, just stepping out of it. I can tell you the Swedish commentary team are behind us, and they nearly leapt into our booth. Oh, worked hard there on the flip.
Good setup for the circular step sequence. Ooh.
He's got flair, and he'll take it. Kristoffer BERNTSSON from Sweden. Wasn't perfect, but not bad at all.
Fun routine. And for the most part, I thought the choreography was very good, fitted to the music, good timing throughout it. There's the opening. How close can you get to the barrier? It's a new competition.
And there's that axel. Oh, dear me, so close. Looked to me as though the hips were a little bit too far back, just couldn't hang on in there. There's the triple flip. Lovely control on that back outside edge at the end. And, well,
I've done that close to the barrier and actually head-butted the barrier. It's not a good place to fall over, really. So, good job he didn't.
That answers a few questions.
Yeah, I wondered what. That's. Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Certainly some good step sequences here. Fast spins, well centered. Changes onto that forward inside look. Keeping the position well. Really working hard as he changed onto the forward outside. Getting the feature by doing the backspin first in that change foot sit. Pleased as punch. And of course, remember the important thing is that he rotated that triple axel. So key to make the rotation now. Popping the jumps is not an option. He looks ready to go again, doesn't he? He's really hyped up, sat there. Just to remind you, it's Lutai for Russia leading, PREAUBERT for France second, Zelenka for Italy in third place at this stage of the competition. Still 7 skaters to go. Marks coming up for Kristoffer BERNTSSON now. 33.80, 31 for the component score. And that, a good score, that's 64.83. Nowhere near his personal best, but enough to get him into third place at this stage. Really pushing the levels. Combination spin at the end, getting a level 4 on that. 2 French skaters in this final group, and this man, the runner-up in the French National Championships. First time in the Europeans. Skating to In the Mood for Love. Is he in the mood for skating? Yannick Ponsero for France.
Triple axel.
He really wound that one up. Almost gave it too much.
Scheduled for a quad toe loop, triple toe loop combination now. Oh. Just over rotating the quad. The first part of the combination.
Well, interesting performance that. He came out with all guns blazing, overcooked the triple axel a little bit, and the same for the quad toe. Strange that he went for the triple salto instead for the Lutz.
The Lutz being the scheduled jump he had on our sheet anyway, and he changed it. But the music, you know, he was choosing not to be on the beat deliberately, and so that's the way it was choreographed. But for me, it was so not even on the offbeat, it was just outside and alongside the music. So it's a choice, but it didn't work for me, because having it a little more obvious for the audience helps people to be involved in the program. So the music became a backdrop, and it's a clever ploy if it works, but for me and for the audience here, it wasn't working in the arena.
Well, there's that quad toe, beginning of the program. Couldn't maintain control, but all credit to him. Put a turn in, nailed a beautiful triple toe on the end. Interesting on the flying spin. He did a back jump sit spin, which I've not seen before. It'd be interesting to see what level he gets for that. There's the triple salto. Should have been triple Lutz. But you can see, even on that, he opens up early. There's room for another turn in there. He's a good technician with the jumps. Really fantastic for him. First time in European Championships being down in this group. Some good strong footwork. There's that flying back sit. Now normally you go in on the left foot and change feet in the air, but he went in on the right foot and stayed on the right foot, which was interesting.
And you know, with the level of the content that was in there on what was done, there wasn't an excitement generated in the program, which you'd expect there to be.
Yeah.
Because we see a quad in combination, and somehow the music and the way the structure came over, it just wasn't capturing excitement here. It's a bit odd, because he was going for the big elements at the start.
Yeah, just thinking back to a couple of groups ago, some of those performances really grabbed your attention and your emotion, didn't they?
They did.
The Italian Karol Zelenka, he's fantastic. Anyway, let's focus on these marks for a moment. 63.11, that'll have him in 6th place. 6th place, just behind Kovalevsky and ahead of Jamal OTHMAN for Switzerland. Karol Zelenka must be pinching himself. 4th place. Kristoffer BERNTSSON in 3rd, Alban PREAUBERT 2nd, and Andrei Lutai leading. But for how long? Now, the moment we've been waiting for. We've been watching the life of Brian over the last couple of days. This, the start of his campaign to regain the European title that he won 3 years ago. Jean-Christophe Simon. I think he's his 6th coach in 6 years for Joubert. The music, Die Another Day.
The opening combination, quad, and then triple toe loop. Strong triple axel. Now we see a bit of fun with the choreography and including the step sequences within the routine. Fast. Deep edges.
Well, he skated that at a rip-roaring pace and didn't hold back even after the mistake at the beginning on that quadruple toe loop. A deep breath from Jean-Christophe Simon. Will it be enough for Brian JOUBERT? I think so.
Well, he's taken a theme before, and it always works for me. He doesn't need to tell me it's 007. I think everybody in the world probably knows that that is what this is about. And it gives you a scope to do something with the choreography, to have a bit of play within the step sequence, which adds a great deal to the performance. The crowd appreciate it more, and from a choreographic standpoint, it does add a little bit of individuality to the program. So well done for that. And of course, here's the opening, going for the big element, over rotating.
You can see in his mind he's thinking, I've got to keep the left foot off, and if I can maintain control, could get triple toe on the end. But wasn't to be. All credit to him, came back and nailed a super triple axel.
It's so powerful, isn't it? That all the skating is powerful. The edges are deep and strong, fast in the spins.
Entry into that flying sit from the butterfly. So light on his feet, gets great elevation, good position in the air, and look at the height on that triple flip. Well, so fast and so polished for the most part. He's been unstoppable this year. Won the Cup of Russia, won the Eric Bombard in Paris, and the Grand Prix finals in St. Petersburg. It could be JOUBERT's year. And don't forget, exclusively to Eurosport, all this week we're following the life of Brian, giving you a real insight to the preparation and what goes on and off the ice for Brian this week. Well, he's certainly fit. He's hardly puffing after that, is he?
Very strong routine.
So here we go, 37.82 the technical score, and the marks are good. Not his best, but there you see, good enough to have him at the top of the pile. 75.18 for Brian JOUBERT, and he shoots into the lead by, help me with my maths here, Nicky.
It's nearly
10 points. So a class all of his own. That's what they're telling us anyway, but deep inside he'd love to get a medal here at these European Championships. The closest he's got was a couple of years ago, finished in 6th place. He's now 24 years of age. Coached by Vera Vandekavy, And the choreography by Diana Goolsby. This is, of course, Kevin van der Perren. Now, he's looked good here in practice. The question is, can he hold it together? He's a bit of a maverick character. What will the face of van der Perren be today? Adagio by Albinoni is the music.
It's the axle to start. Yes. Effortless generation of speed. Flip. Toe loop.
Oh, hang on in there, Kevin.
Lutz. So many have been making a mistake. Looks like he's seizing his chance. Great work rate, non-stop energy throughout this routine.
Oh, yes! What about that? Well, it could be his year. Kevin van der Perren at the top of his form. Fantastic. Oh, I'm so pleased for him. He's such a nice guy. Brilliant.
You had a sense, didn't you, that the others... we had this expectancy of this last group, and it just hadn't come off, one after the other. It hadn't quite come off. And sometimes when that happens, there's a door here, go and do it. And often he's gone out, he started well, but it's not completely delivered. But right the way through that, rock solid, it was great.
Yeah, technically, it's just fantastic. He's landed quadruple loop in practice. He really is a jumping machine. There's the triple axel. I thought he got the weight a little bit too far back on the skate going into that, but he hung on in there and drove it through. Great flip, triple toe on the end. Look at that, straight as a die in the air and rock solid on the landings. Good spins. Little bit weak on the footwork towards the end there. You can see he has to get right on the back of the skate to get that skate to go forwards during the spin. Good position.
Yeah, as I was saying, he had great energy. It looked like he was running out of steam, but I'm not surprised because there was, the step sequences were very demanding. The straight line step sequence, he was going diagonally a lot of across and back and forth across the rink to get more length in the step sequence, get more steps in it, more content.
And there, the last of the jumps, the triple flip. See that skate spinning on a back outside. Now he goes back onto the back of the skate, forward inside, maintains the sit position. Then the pancake position.
The pancake position?
That's it.
Okay.
Fabulous.
Yes.
The release of energy at the end of the program. Okay, Mr. Perrin, you've done your job. Let's see if the judges can do theirs. Hold your breath. The marks are good. 33.86. The technical score, 33.32. Very good for the components. 67.18. Close to a personal best for Kevin van der Perrin there, and that will be good enough to get him into second place in behind Brian Joubert. But there is a monstrous gap there still, isn't there? 75.18, remember the score from Brian Joubert. And Kevin, 67.18.
Representing Belarus.
So, still 2 skaters to go. Up now the 27-year-old from Belarus. 5th he was in these championships back in 2001. 13th last year, though. Vladimir Kotin watches on. It's Sergei Davydov. The music entitled Hymn to the Moon.
Triple axel. Lovely flowing edge on the landing. Looks and toe loop. Again, very clean. And his style matches this music. Excellent skating technique. Beautiful choice of music for the short program and for his style.
Beautiful. Well, that's thrown the cat amongst the pigeons.
That was my favourite routine this afternoon.
Interesting, you know, with the new system, I think the step sequences work better with a slow piece of music.
Yes. Yes, like in the short pairs, if a slow piece of music can provide that backdrop and allows you the freedom to get the nuances of the music out. It's beautiful music, but his style works so well. He could have carried on skating all day. Everybody was just it was as quiet as anything in here. Everybody totally concentrating and taken in by this performance.
Yeah, it really was.
So fast
something.
into the spin. Spin's coming out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Jump slide.
Well, we've got a chance now to go down ringside and catch up with Kevin van der Perren. He must be thrilled.
Kevin, you're said to be unpredictable. Is that the kind of surprise that comes with the new Kevin today?
I think in the past I've learned that I can believe in what I do in practice, because usually practices are really great and the program is just, well, crap. And I'm better prepared than other competitions because we really prepared with doing programs and warming ups and times between being on the ice and the program. So I think that really helped me today.
I talked with your coach saying that you have a mental coach. Will it help for tomorrow to go with that quad, for example?
Well, most people are calling me like to get a medal, but I came here to be in the top 5, which I think should be possible since I was 7th last year with really not too good programs. So if I gain that goal, I'll be very happy. But of course, it's important for him to be there because I learn every competition, and already only this competition I learned so much again from him. So I think I really need to continue in the future.
Thank you very much, Kevin, and good luck.
Thank you.
Fantastic. Good job, Kevin van der Perren. And he's right in amongst the medals, no doubt about that.
Well, and what he said about learning between the warm-up and the practices and taking that gap and then coming back on. It's just interesting how it can make such a difference. So many skaters so different in their needs. You can understand that working for him.
It takes all sorts to make a world. Right, let's focus back on Davydov now. One criticism for him, took off the flip on the wrong edge, so he may suffer a little bit on that. Getting 5.07 for the triple flip, just looking down on our score, but it's a total of 70.14 for Davydov, so that is a new personal best for him on the short program, and that puts him into 2nd place, just ahead of Kevin van der Perren.
And I think the program components marks were low against what we saw, the quality of the skating and the overall routine.
So still some 5 points behind Brian JOUBERT, who really is out on his own. There'll be no pressure on him in 2 days' time when he goes into the free. So we've still got one skater to go. A little bit of a problem here with the outfit. But looking relaxed. He's a cool customer. Now, how has he kept his nerve? 20 years of age, 3rd time in the Europeans, 10th he's been the last 2 times. Can he do better here in Warsaw? This is Tomáš VERNER and the music Toccata, performed by Vanessa May.
Flip, toe loop. Clean, strong, short. Excellent opening. Triple axel.
Well, this is a majestic start.
How about that? Triple looks, one-handed. Good. Surges of speed you need in your step sequence, and there was one of them. Superb interpretation.
Well, I loved that. It had everything, and he loved it too. Tomáš Verner right at the top of his game. Oh, just amazing. What a way to end the afternoon.
He's had power, grace, elegance, and an attitude to it as well. It fitted the music. Wow.
Well, I can tell you, looking around, there's not an awful lot of people in here, but there's a fair few of them on their feet. And rightly so. A prestigious performance from the 20-year-old from Písek in the Czech Republic. Trains in Oberstdorf with Mikkel Hut, who must be absolutely ecstatic about that performance. Looked as though there wasn't a nerve in his body. Look at that triple axel. Beautiful soft knee bend.
He was so confident from the off, wasn't he?
He really
the axle,
was.
It didn't have a lot of speed into it, didn't need it. One-handed on the landing here. There you go.
Ah, it's beautiful.
It was the flourishes, wasn't it, that captured the whole theme of the show. It was a show to me.
It was, yeah.
And people were clapping along, and the cleverness of the choreography, capturing that circular step sequence, the slowing it down, and the fast movements.
You know, for me, that was better than Joubert. I'm sure he's not going to get the marks, but I loved that.
Yeah.
It had
well, there's an overall
softness.
program.
Fantastic.
It is better.
Footwork was brilliant. He was using the upper half of the body. Be interesting to see what levels he gets on that that last step sequence, because he was all over the place.
The last
there were
spin
rockers,
was a little.
counters.
Yeah, the last spin was a little weak.
I'll give you that. But you have to look hard, don't you, to criticise the program and the performance. Brilliant. Well done, Tomáš Verner. Fabulous to see. Well, we've got a new kid on the block. He's right up there. Remember the standings. Joubert leading. Davydov 5 points behind in second. Then Van der Perrin. That could well change here. Tomáš Verner has a personal best of 71.3. If he gets that, that would get him into second place. And I can tell you that these marks are sensational. 41.14, and he gets 35.42 for the component score. Look at that, a total of 76.56. We have a new leader.
And deserved. Didn't think I'd see it. Wow.
Hats off to the judges. Over 1.5 points more than Brian Joubert. Tremendous stuff.
The technical element score, 41.14. Amazing.
It's monstrous. That's over 6 points more than he's ever got before in his life. The performance of his life, and great to see the judges going with it. Oh, what a wonderful way to end the afternoon. And there's confirmation. Tomáš Verner for the Czech Republic leads. Brian Joubert, red hot favourite in second place. Remember that mistake on the quad toe from him. Davydov, who skated a blinder in third. Van der Perrin, who was sensational in fourth. Lutai in fifth for Russia. Then Preaubert, who didn't have a great skate. He must be thanking his lucky stars to be up there in 6th place. Kristoffer BERNTSSON, he was good. Zelenka, what about him from Italy in 8th place? And well, it goes on and on. Jamal OTHMAN there for Switzerland in 11th. He skated great. URBAS was clean as well.
Yeah.